Hey everyone, welcome back to Home Service Greatness Podcast. You have Jon and Jon here with episode number 3, and we're here to talk about the secret ingredients to a winning partnership.
Man, that's a good topic today, guys. So good to be with you guys. I can tell you that at the end of the day, business is not easy. And doing it alongside of somebody that you can trust and grow with it's truly, to me, the biggest blessing in business, because nobody wants to go through this game by themselves. So let's get to it, man. I want to take a step back if we could, Johnny.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about who we are, man. The story of Jon and Jon, right? How we came about, how we got here, and what the future looks like, bro. So I'm going to let you kick it off, man. A little bit about our background.
Okay, so fair to say, you and I started off back in high school. We met each other. I know you like to bring up how we met at the lockers. I don't 100% remember.
But who do I bring that up
Sounds
to?
about right. I don't know. We talked about it a few times. So we met in high school, had an instant connection, became good friends, best friends to this day. And along the time frame since then, through college, we started a few businesses.
Yeah, man.
We had that entrepreneurial spirit, and we just hit the ground running.
And one thing that's like really, really important for people to know about Jon and I is we were never given anything in life, like nothing. From the moment we met in the lockers until today, it has been pure, full-blown hustle, throttle down, trying to go get it, no matter what the world threw at us. So it's crazy, man. I will never forget when we made it to the college and we became roommates. Like, we had no money, right?
Nothing.
We had nothing. You were working full-time somewhere. I was out there just trying to figure out how to just pay the rent, right? And like, eventually we ended up starting something during the hurricane season. And our first business together was putting together hurricane shutters, right? Just putting up like, what is it, $25 a panel?
It was something like $25 a window, I think it was.
Yep. So we started that out, and then we cleaned up during the hurricanes, and before you know it, we started a t-shirt company and a magazine, and things started really taking off. We started in that magazine helping small businesses grow.
Yeah, but if we take a step back to the hurricane shutter days, do you remember how we marketed, how we got our customers?
Was it door to door?
It was door to door and a little sign taped on a stop sign. Call this number, hurricane shutters. I think I still have a picture of the sign that we hung up on.
I forgot about that, man. I forgot about that.
Yep.
It's been from the bottom, man. And fun fact that really, really nobody has ever heard is when I tell you we came from the bottom and from the beginning, do you remember the days of us going to Walmart, right? We printed t-shirts. We didn't know how to sell them. We just knew we had cool t-shirts. We drove to the Walmart parking lot and we opened up, I think you had an Escape at the time, right?
Ben.
We opened that thing up. We hung the t-shirts up and hung them on the back of the open bed back there, right?
That's it.
The gate. And everybody that came by, we'd sit outside and be like, hey, we got a t-shirt, right? And in hindsight, it's crazy to think about that. But we tell you these things because we want you to unpack where you came from. We want you to dig deep and remember your humble beginnings. Because ultimately, like, we're here today and we're so like incredibly blessed to be here to share our story and help inspire. But at the same time, take this moment to look back and unpack your story if you could.
Yeah, I think that was great reminiscence there, Johnny.
Man, yeah.
Taking me back. So if we could dive into some of the secret ingredients now for a winning partnership, first thing that comes to mind is having the partners with the same vision for the business, right? Whether you have 2 partners, 3 partners, or even more, if those partners don't have the same long-term goals in mind for your business venture, there's going to be a lot of friction and a lot of problems that arise.
Yeah. And that goes into the fact that like having your very clear idea of what success looks like. Are you exiting the business? Is it one of those things that you're staying in for a long time? Is it one of those things you're scaling down, you're scaling up? Mm-hmm. Like being really clear on that and being very on the same page on that mission is the name of the game for sure.
No doubt about that. Yeah. Another strength or a skill set that comes to mind is having diversified business skills between the different partners, right? There's strengths, there's weaknesses for everyone that's in business, and having that diversified skill set helps to make sure that your business is on the right path to success.
So when it comes to your skill sets, like, it's just so people know, like, what are you dialed into and how maybe that can help other people? Like, what are your strengths? What are some of your weaknesses?
I'd say one of my strongest strengths would be the management side of things. Just a little backstory on me. I've come from the corporate world. That's where I started right out of high school in the corporate world all the way through. You and I started Mr. Pipeline. And in that corporate world, I elevated myself through the rankings on the management side. So translating to now in the home service space that we're in, I have a strength with managing people, being able to train people and make sure that we hold each other accountable to hit the end goals for the business.
Yeah, and the crazy part is that's a huge weakness of mine. So like I just don't, I'm not good at it. For whatever reason, I try and then I'll get yelled at or I'll be put in line, whether it's by somebody on the team or it's you or it's myself. Like it's never at that standard, and I'm sure I'm fine. But at the end of the day, to be an excellent business, you need to operate with excellent management. So
no doubt about it.
Couldn't agree more, man.
But that's a perfect example of having diversified skills where my strengths complement your weaknesses and vice versa. Your strengths, you have a plethora of strengths on your side that complement some of my weaknesses.
Appreciate that, bro. Like mine on my side is I just don't stop. Like I've got like tenacity and perseverance embedded into me. And I know you do too, man. And it's not a weakness of yours by any means, but like I can tell you that like no matter what challenge I'm pushed on, like I'm going to eventually hit it. And I challenge anybody who's listening today, do that deep diving, whether you're just starting a partnership or you're in a partnership. Start to unpack what you're good at and bad at and start to like give clear responsibilities. You're going to be that much stronger tomorrow.
Yeah. So I think it's fair to say, whether, again, you're in a partnership or you're thinking about starting a partnership, you don't want to be just like best friends that always have the same set of thoughts, strengths, weaknesses, whatever the case may be. Make sense?
Yeah. It's crazy because like at the end of the day, it's like you are two individuals, right, with the same mission in mind, but if you charge with different skill sets, right, towards the same mission, you're that much stronger, man, at the end of the day. So my next tip that I want to jump into is, for me, it's calling yourself out all the time. So what I mean by that is this. When you fuck up, because you will fuck up as a partner, look in the mirror, right? Look in the mirror and tell yourself, like, this is what you did. Like, you could have done better. Raise your standards. Never lower your standards, right? If you didn't manage somebody correctly, or you didn't balance the budget correctly, or you didn't project correctly, or whatever that looks like, don't just walk around like nothing happened. Look at yourself. Think about what you could have done to show up at a better level. Yep. And on that same note, man, like, again, call yourself out, though, on the winning side. When you're winning and you're doing things strong as a partner, don't be afraid to bring it up and like let that person know how hard you've worked at a certain task and you were able to like take a notch off the belt that you did something right. It's a huge win. Like, you got to celebrate your wins like you won the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. The accountability goes both ways, right? Hold yourself accountable when you do something wrong or that you can do better. And of course, when you're on that winning side of things, reward yourself.
Yes, sir.
Compliment yourself.
Yes, sir. So from another thing that I want to talk about is making sure that you are having uncomfortable conversations, right? Like, the strongest partnerships are built off authenticity. So if like there's money issues, you can avoid it, right? And you're going to operate in mediocrity. Or you're going to talk about it and have an authentic conversation. Put all that shit on the table. At the end of the day, it's going to level you up as a business leader, and it's also going to level your partnership up. So why wouldn't you talk about tough stuff, right? So for me, doing uncomfortable stuff is really, really important, man. All the time.
What type of uncomfortable conversations do you find yourself in most often?
So for me, I think that the biggest thing is obviously money. When money comes to the table, whether it's in how much you're investing into something, or it's something on like the other side when you get out of the business, like money is a really uncomfortable thing that people don't like talking about.
For sure.
And truthfully, bro, you know me well enough that I don't give a shit. I care more about us and our relationship and our partnership, friendship than any dollar. And I mean that. And I feel like at the end of the day, if somebody offered me $1 million, and I mean it, $1 million to try to overstep my partner, not in this lifetime. You're talking to the wrong person, right? You know, talking to the wrong, yeah. But I'll tell you, at the end of the day, it's just something that I don't play, but I'm down to have that open conversation anytime.
Yeah. So is it safe to say that you have uncomfortable conversations in business and on the personal side, and how they pretty much translate equally, right?
No doubt. I'm going to jump into one more tip that I have before I give you my secret ingredient, my favorite ingredient. But right now, what I want to say is, so never forget that you rise by lifting others. And a perfect example is this. A few years ago, something happened in my family and somebody got very sick, right? and I wasn't able to show up to business. My heart was in the business. I loved the company, but I wasn't physically able to get in my vehicle and leave the house. Imagine that. So during those times, I fell down, right? But Jon, being the incredible human being he is, incredible partner he is, not only did he not ever make me feel bad in those moments, but he figured out how to help me rise. Like he lifted me. So I couldn't leave the house, but there was a Starbucks right next door, right? He said, I'll come your way, dude. Totally inconvenient. Never second guessed it. That's what it's all about, because that wasn't a permanent moment in my life, and he knew it. I felt like it was, but he didn't. He saw it from the outside. And I can tell you that he lifted me, and we rose. The business rose. We grew. And it's safe to say, bro, didn't we have like record-breaking months and years?
We did. Throughout those most challenging times. No doubt about it.
Bro, all day, man. And at the end of the day, it's like, it's easy to celebrate wins when shit's good.
Sure.
It is not easy to lift each other when shit's not good.
No.
Right? And I think those are those moments, man, that you can't really put your finger on or define, but that's what it's all about.
That's it, man. That's a true ingredient of a winning partnership right there.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
Lifting your boy, your girl, your team, whatever that is, when the chips are down.
So at the end of the day, when we first started the business, we never would have thought that would even be a situation, you know?
In a million years, man.
Yep. Just things happen, and we have to adjust. We have to pivot. We got to be able to do whatever's best for each other, and of course for the business.
Yep. Better believe it, man. And there'll be more to come like that too. So make sure if you're listening today and your partner's in a tough spot, do yourself a favor. Throw the judgment out. Throw the guilt, shame, all that bullshit out. Lift your hand out and lift your boy or girl up, because that's what it's all about. Because I promise you, the right partner will do the same. All right. I'm going to let you go first, bro. What's your secret ingredient to a winning partnership?
Okay, so safe to say, with everything we've talked out right now, it's all very important, right? No doubt about it. But I do have one ingredient that stands out more than the rest, and that's communication. When I think of communication in a winning partnership, we have open dialogue, clear dialogue, very assertive with the way that we speak to each other. Don't hold anything back or passive aggressive. Anything like that can cause problems. So my secret ingredient for anyone listening right now today is having great communication with your business partner or partners to ensure that everything's moving in the right direction.
So it's so truthful, man. It's so on point. It doesn't matter whether it's through text, phone, Slack, any of the communication. I never really thought about it like that, but there's never a moment where like if there's anything but direct and just trying to serve and help and lift each other and the business. So, dude, that ingredient's fire.
I did what I can. Let's hear what you got.
I love it, man. So my secret ingredient, banging that drum roll again, make sure that it's somebody you will go to war with, because ultimately business is a blood sport. It really is. So when I say go to war with, I mean you're in the trenches with. Like there's competitors coming in, there's the wrong customers, there's outside like circumstances coming in.
Yep.
And it's somebody that you will sit next to back, ready to just fight off anything that comes your way. And I can't tell you how many times we went to war together over the last 10 years, 20 years, whatever, however long this journey's been.
We'll need 2 separate podcasts to talk about all that.
Bro, I'm telling you, at the end of the day, business gets nasty, and it gets nasty quick. So make sure this is that indescribable quality when you're looking for a business partner. It's somebody that if I'm down, he's going to go to my house and pull me out of the house and lift me up, right? And I'll do the same any day of the week. Make sure it's somebody you fight for, you fight with, and ultimately it's that intangible quality. But make sure you're able to see it through.
Love it, man.
Yeah, man.
Love it. Anything else you want to add today before we close this one out?
Man, I just think that if you're in a partnership, ultimately count your blessings, because this journey of entrepreneurship is very lonely. And if you've got somebody by your side, count your blessings, man. Show them great gratitude and smile through the pain and push no matter what, because you're fighting as a unit.
Great advice.
Yep.
Well, everyone, hope you love these secret ingredients today. We wanted to provide nothing but value when it comes to having a winning partnership. So until next episode, we out.